I'm sure we're going to jinx it at some point because of the high lauding that we're doing for this show. But I will say this. This may be one of the best seasons I've ever seen thus far.
I think they missed an opportunity by not having the below deck version of this episode right after.
Oh, they didn't?
No.
Yeah, what
are they doing?
Come on, Bravo.
Bros and shows. I gotta have me my bros and shows. Bros and shows. I gotta have me my bros and shows.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Bros and Shows. I'm your co-host, Steele Russell, joined as always by the one and only Shooter Stu Gooter. What's up, dude?
Not a whole lot.
Studer. Damn it. Fuck, it was right there.
Head Studer.
Head Studer.
Yeah, that could work.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll work on it.
Yeah, it's okay.
They're on the boat for next episode. I
think they're on the boat for next episode too. Yeah. Not a lot. This is just update. Quick update. This is episode 7.
Thank you.
Because I actually went back. I had the time and I just scrolled through Peacock and it went 1. This is infuriating, by the way. The last 2 episodes, I'll just summarize it this way. The last 3 episodes actually in a row are RHOSLC. Before that, it's Watch What Happens Live episode. Watch What Happens Live episode. Why they don't do it anymore and why they didn't go back and remove those.
It's because of us. You're welcome.
It's because of us. So I think from here on out, we'll probably be okay because they still do have people from Salt Lake on Watch What Happens Live afterwards. They're just not implementing it into the season for whatever reason they were doing that before. But yes, we are on episode 7 because I got scared. It said 11.
Yeah, and that's the problem is you look and then it's like, okay, well, that sucks because we're almost done.
Yeah.
Not really, we're not even halfway through, but they keep trying to shove Watch What Happens Live in there. Look, I like Watch What Happens Live, okay? I do. But we don't need to be padding ratings by fucking up the number system, especially for people like Shooter and I, because that kind of thing, we will get stuck on that until it changes or we will complain about it for the rest of our lives.
Yeah. And here's the thing, too. If we're watching on Peacock, like, if I have time, I immediately just go right from the episode to Watch What Happens Live because it's on an app and I know how to do it. If you're somebody who doesn't use Peacock, then this would be for them. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Where it's, the people that aren't really into using apps or whatever. You're not peacocky. You're going to be able to just watch it. And then immediately after Watch What Happens Live starts and you're like, okay, cool. I didn't have to do anything. But the people that are using the app don't need that. And it's just ruining us. It's doom and gloom. That's what it is.
And I refuse to be doomed and gloomed during such a tremendous season. So I'm glad that hopefully it's rectified. Maybe they can go back and take the other episodes out, put them where they belong. But at least we're moving in the right direction.
We are moving in the right direction. And Captain Jason's here.
Captain Jason is there, which is, it's always a delight to see him. It's always a delight to be on one of those boats. I always forget because we don't watch Below Deck a lot.
That's the funny thing is all day on Monday, I can't remember, I don't even know what day it is today. Monday or Tuesday, I watched a lot of Below Deck Med.
Oh, nice.
Because Joe Bradley, the other Joe Bradley, came back.
Nice.
And I probably have about 4 or 5 episodes of that season under my belt. So I am somewhat astute when it comes to the boating. Astute, yeah.
Astute.
Mm-hmm.
Get it? Like stew.
Yeah.
That was the joke.
Yeah, like beef stew.
Yeah, exactly. The thing about Below Deck, no matter when you jump back into it, it's always entertaining.
It's always entertaining, and you really don't need to understand what's going on. There's familiar faces all over the place. There's gonna be new faces every season.
Chef Ben is back, dude. Yeah. I was so stoked.
I know. Yeah, Chef Ben's back. And let's just talk about this real quick. The really bad guests that they have on Below Deck don't even remotely compare to Housewives.
Pale in comparison.
It is like the one Med episode that I was watching is this guy who's a vegan who demanded to see the chef because he demands creativity from the chef for vegan food. And I can't remember the chef's name. Damn it, it's going to bother me. He's like some rock star guy. Either way, yeah, good job.
Thanks.
Either way, that's the most that they really have to deal with. This was just carnage from start to finish.
I mean, I've seen some pretty bad guests. Who was it? Johnny Damon. That one's have you seen that?
Oh, yeah, Johnny Damon, yeah.
Woof, that was a disaster. So I don't know.
We always have that one rewatch that we did where the second episode that got removed and we're like, what the hell happened here?
I forgot about that one. Yeah, that's when we were doing our, what was that for? We were just doing a little Below Deck.
We were just doing like a rewatch because there wasn't that much on.
That's exactly what it was.
During a lull in the summer and we just needed some more content out there, so we decided to do a Below Deck rewatch.
And we just so happened to stumble upon one of the worst ones, I guess, where they had to remove the
It's
episode.
like the second episode of the series.
We were so confused. We're like, wait, this skipped. Why did
Yeah.
this skip? A very quick Google search will tell you why.
Yeah.
And some not great shit happened on that boat, but a lot of great shit happened on this boat. And what I was saying was, I always forget how beautiful these yachts are.
Oh, yeah.
Like, when they get to the boat, I'm like, oh my God, that's a yacht.
It's also perfect too, and I don't think that Angie and Lisa really planned on this at all. I mean, maybe I do wonder what goes into like the briefing of this is what's going to happen this season as far as your trips go, because I'm never really sold that they're completely surprised when Heather pops up and says, "Oh, by the way, we're going on a yacht with Captain Jason." They must have an idea that it's going to happen. But we did talk about Lisa being on a yacht with her poster boards.
Yeah.
And we did talk about how Lisa thinks that Angie's never been on a yacht, which this is why, here's your little side-by-side comparison of Lisa and Angie. Lisa going to her confessional and throwing shade saying, well, Angie wouldn't know what hit her even if she was on a yacht. Angie immediately walking in, I've never been on a yacht before. I'm really excited. Authenticity. That's all we've really asked for.
That's why people like her so
Yep.
much. And that's why Lisa Barlow's stock is, I would argue, plummeting.
Yeah.
It's not a great look. And it's not one of those seasons, and I might be out here on an island with this one, but damn it, I don't care. It's not one of those seasons where she is bearing the brunt of all of this shit and she's coming out looking okay. Like, a lot of times we see people get piled up on and they end up actually looking better than the pile-uppers.
Yeah.
That's not happening with Lisa.
I would argue what we've seen the last couple of years, yes, she has been piled up on at times, but usually her reaction to the piling up, and even if it's not really an actual dog pile on top of her, she still reacts as if it's like suffocating and everything's going on, and then she starts hurling insults.
Yep.
But I would say for this one in particular, I think you're right, because what we're doing now is we have evidence.
Yeah.
We have a long train, a long history of
pattern.
events, a pattern that we've now kind of keyed in on when it comes to Lisa Barlow. And you have Heather and Whitney sitting down and having very normal conversations, bringing in a Meredith, trying to put the pieces together, but they already kind of know what's going on. So really what they're doing is just kind of calling her out on her shit. And I love the way that Heather goes about it later is so goddamn funny.
Yeah, it was great.
Because she tries to do it from like I'm being a good friend here.
I know.
It's like, no, you're not. And we'll get on into all that. But I don't really think that this is an old fashioned, like unnecessary pile on.
I agree.
That gets annoying. I think that it's like 80% holding Lisa accountable for things that she just needs to address. And if she's not the culprit, then say that you're not the culprit in a calm and normal way. She's incapable of doing that. So that's really what she's doing. She's shooting herself in the foot, because I do think, and we've seen Lisa get out of these before, this season's different.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, she's rattled so quickly. She gets rattled. She gets
She's
pre-rattled.
guilty.
Yeah, she's guilty, but she gets pre-rattled.
I know.
And that's not a good look.
She's prattled.
Prattled.
Yeah, we've never seen LB prattled before, but it's pretty
Spencer
prominent.
Prattler.
Spencer Prattler. She's getting Spencer
Holy
prattled.
shit, that works so well.
Yeah, that was really good. Well done.
There's a couple people too. Spencer Pratt, Spencer Rattler.
Anybody that knows Spencer Prattler
Mhm.
or where that came from,
Yep.
you get it.
Yeah.
You guys get it. But let's get into this episode. It might take a minute to break this bad boy down because a lot happens in the small confines of that yacht. I love the start out, and I love production in Salt Lake. They always go the cinematic route with things, and it always works. And you get the Mayday, Mayday call from Captain Jason. Someone's been thrown overboard, and we get this floating stuffed animal that we don't have any context for until later.
You just hear the voice.
It's like, I
love
love you. Oh, no. Good night. You are loved. And then they do like and it's like, what the fuck is that thing? But let's get to the airport. Watching Mary struggle with her bags is a staple of trips now. Every time we show up anywhere, Mary has issues with her bags, so I hope they continue that for the rest of this show. And we find out that Bronwyn is not going to make it. Now, we knew this was coming. We know that she's facing some stuff that's been leaked into the news, leaked into the press, or she's dealing with that. We obviously talked a lot about Todd's reaction to it, saying that maybe you shouldn't go on this trip. So we knew that she went on it, right?
Yeah.
Like, we knew she showed up
We
later.
knew she showed up on it, but I understand why she did it, because when I think it was Heather that was explaining their day of travel, they're going from Salt Lake to Newark, from
Salt Lake
Newark
to
down to like
Bermuda
Bermuda
to Canoa.
Yeah, so it's a long ass flight, and I guarantee you that Bronwyn probably just took direct. She got like
yeah.
a private jet or something. Todd just paid for whatever, and she went straight to Bermuda.
Yeah, without a doubt.
I imagine that's what she did. And also, if you were with the women on that struggle bus, if you will, you're going to have to answer in the air.
In the
No,
air,
we're not doing
like-
any of that. I actually really appreciate this. Wait until we get there, and don't be sitting on pins and needles the entire time, hoping that somebody doesn't bring it up, like a Brittany.
Yeah,
who's
dude.
just gonna like come up in the middle of the flight, and it's like they're taking a red eye maybe, and it's 3 a.m.
We're taking a red eye.
Yeah, and Brittany comes over and like peeks in, like, "Hey, do you want to talk about this?" Like, no,
No.
I don't want to talk about this right
Go
now.
sit in the bathroom till the
So
plane
this
lands.
is, I think, best case scenario. Whether it's producers or Bronwyn doing it, I don't care. It doesn't matter because this is how it should play out.
Well, it's a smart move on her part, and it's a good move for us at home
Yeah.
because we want this to come out and be discussed at the right time.
Yeah,
The right
on the
setting.
boat with everybody.
Correct. So it was a good move, and 15 hours later, they arrive in Canawan. Before we even talked about anything, it was very noticed. This island looks different than other islands.
Yeah.
Everything's developed. All the houses are really fucking nice. Like it's when I looked at it, I was like, oh, I don't vacation in places like this. Turns out, as Lisa knows, obviously, and this doesn't help with her allegations this season of, fraud and maybe not having what she says.
Mhm.
Before I just chalked it up to she's wealthy and she loves wealthy things. But now all these little comments are starting to add up. And she's like, isn't this where the billionaires hang out? It's like, yeah, it is. And I was like, oh, okay, well, that makes sense for the island, but I'm also taking note of that. I'll bring that back up again later. But this one intrigued me. I messaged Heather because we've been back and forth playing phone tag with Heather for 2 years now.
Yeah.
And she wants to come on the show.
Mhm.
We've been trying to get her on the show. Every time it works out scheduling wise, Bravo shuts it down.
She really hasn't even been on any shows because of
No.
the way that they've been filming.
Yeah.
After the Monica season was actually the end of the Monica season was when we were on Watch What Happens Live with her. It was that season
Yeah.
finale. So we saw her that night. They weren't allowing her to do any interviews because the reunion was airing and all this was just dropping. And then as soon as the reunion was over, they went right back into filming. Like
Yep.
they had a month. I think she said that they picked up at the end of February and it was January. So there was nothing in there. We weren't allowed to do interviews. Then obviously you're not allowed to do any interviews while you're filming. So they've just been nonstop. Honestly, when you think about it, the Salt Lake schedule's been pretty grueling.
Yeah, it has, but I'm going to do this, okay?
Do this.
And I'm going to post it. Heather, we're ready for you to come on the show. So I'm going to message you again and let's figure this out. I'm going to call you out on Instagram to make this happen.
You're going to post that?
I'm posting this. Yes.
Okay,
I'm
all
posting
right.
this and tagging
Hell
it.
of a post.
I'm sure it's going to work. What could possibly go wrong? Okay, let's get back to Canawan. Captain Jason, we get a little rundown on, and this was interesting. And when she brought it up here, she didn't reference any canoodling or anything of that nature, but my head obviously was going somewhere else because she said Captain Jason and I, when Whitney and I were out in Australia, we hung out with Captain Jason. We hung out for a week, but the way she said that made it seem like Heather hung out with Captain Jason.
Now, was this during the weird Whitney Teresa Giudice trip to Australia that we didn't really know about?
Probably, yes.
So
Yeah, I would imagine that correlates.
that's where my head went right away.
Yeah, my head went to did they boink?
Yeah. Fair.
And we get some more info on that later. We're not sure, but anyway, let's get to the boat. We're on the yacht. I forget what it's called, but we get to meet all the stews. Mike, I believe his name was the British fella.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a toupee?
I think it might be a toupee.
That was a strong look.
Which is an odd thing to do on a yacht because
Yeah.
one, the winds are a little high when you're moving if you're out there. If he's interior, because I don't know anything about this other than really Captain Jason and I guess Daisy to some extent. But I mean, if you're, doing the deck and it's windy or rainy and wet, do you really want to have a toupee?
I don't know. My other question is,
I think it's just a weird British haircut.
if it is a toupe,
Yep.
okay,
As people call it.
right? Why go for that one? You have the freedom if you are a toupe person.
I would rather try to break down the psychology behind being on Love Island than try to figure out why pick a toupe.
Okay, why?
Because I can't imagine what goes into that.
I mean, look, I get it.
You ever seen a good toupe?
I'm not yeah, you probably have and didn't know it. You know?
That would be the best, honestly.
And
That's
that's
the best kind of
thing.
toupe.
I'm not shaming or shading anyone that wears a toupe.
But if it's
know?
a bad toupe, you are.
If it's a bad toupe, it's not even shade because it's your decision. I do dumb shit with my hair all the time. I'm not shaming them. It's just a question. Like, okay,
It's better for sunlight, like UV rays, when you get your scalp burnt. Do Do you think it's better to have a tube on because it actually
Oh,
has better
definitely.
coverage?
Yeah, it's like completely covers. It's like, SPF 100.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just thinking in a role like this, if he ever gets called out, what am I supposed to do? Be bald? I can't wear a hat in the crew, and I'm going to get
that's a
sunburn on
good
my head.
point. Oh, maybe that's why he's
Protection.
tubing it. Okay. All right. Smart move then.
I don't even know if he's tubing it.
I don't either.
No.
It was a really bad haircut, so I had to ask something. But Jason, was this intentional? We're going to get you wet, and then we're going to get you in the water.
Yes.
Nice job, Jason.
He knows exactly what he's doing.
He knows who he is now.
Honestly, and that's the funny thing is there's a lot of avid Below Deck watchers, but once that, I think it was 2 BravoCons ago, maybe the first one back in Vegas, when he came out and everybody was just obsessed with him. That's when you started to notice a little bit of I'm going to be kind of direct.
That's when people were getting bricked up for Captain Jason. Now everyone's been fully bricked for like a year and a half.
Yeah.
And he knows.
Mm-hmm.
He knows what he's doing.
He knows.
These are the comments, though. And they're starting to add up for me when LB goes to a confession about the yacht. She's like, just say yacht, anything. She's getting too excited to do rich people stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
To actually be a rich person.
You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean.
That's starting to add up.
She's got that like split of, yes, I know what I'm doing here. I know the lingo because I've been on a yacht before. And I'm also really excited and can't contain myself.
Yeah.
You would imagine if it was more so the first one, that's more in line with the Lisa that I know.
Mm-hmm.
But if she can't contain her excitement, that tells me you haven't been on a yacht since that picture that we saw where you guys were super far away with you and your loving husband.
That picture also looks like when, you can go down to the naval yard in Philly and there's like boats that are no longer in use and you can go on the tour boat.
Yeah, they have a drone that just flies up and takes a picture of it. Yeah.
It gives that. Like you can walk onto that yacht and take a picture if you'd like, then get the fuck off. But I don't know.
It's like a day trip yacht.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which that's not the same thing.
Still expensive.
Sure.
But, probably not worth it. But
I was going to chalk that up to a waste of money.
Yeah, definitely a waste of money. Well,
depends on the event.
They're all kind of, this is a different conversation, but I feel like all yachting is
unless you
a waste
own
of money.
the yacht.
Even that.
Yeah, but if
you know what they say, best 2 days of owning a boat.
Buying the boat and selling it.
That's what they say.
My point with the owning of the yacht is you probably have enough money where it doesn't fucking matter. So then it's not a waste of money. Then you just...
Unless you're boat poor.
I bet a lot of people probably are
There's
boat poor.
probably... Do you think there's more boat poor people or house poor people?
I think you'd have to do a percentage.
Yeah.
Because there obviously more people own homes. Mm-hmm. The percentage of boat poor versus house poor.
Yeah. I think it's way higher boat poor.
I would imagine it's probably higher boat poor, yeah. Yeah, and also return on investment with a boat is non-existent.
I had a really weird thought, though, as I was driving into work today, because I noticed there weren't that many Halloween decorations out, and it really bothered me. I chalked it up to everybody's house poor, and they can't afford decorations anymore.
Just drive around my neighborhood, everyone...
Your neighborhood's great. Your neighborhood's great,
2 months.
Which I fully appreciate, but yeah, I was driving through various neighborhoods. Look, Halloween's one of those... this is a crazy tangent.
Yeah,
Halloween's one of those holidays where it's like, yeah, I mean, religiously it doesn't really matter unless you have a problem with like pagans from the 1400s, which is ridiculous to me.
Insane.
Just let your kids dress up for Halloween.
The people that burn
candy.
books.
Yeah, exactly. But like, you don't have decorations up. What are we doing?
I don't know.
Not even fall decorations. Like, put some pumpkins out there. Nothing.
Yeah, we got the tombstones in our front
house
yard.
Poor. Everybody's house poor.
Probably. Yep. This economy.
Yep.
All right. Anyway. Back on track. We'll try not to do that again. We'll try our best. But like you said, with Angie going into her confession, like first time, so excited. I'm like, great, good, thank you for being normal.
Mm-hmm. Is she excited though after this episode?
I don't know.
Yeah,
she's a good sport though, always. Now Brittany is ecstatic because she has a smorgasbord of men to choose from. Yep. So she's very confusing when it comes to dudes.
At least she didn't say schmorg.
Let's talk rooms. We got Heather and Whitney, LB and Meredith, Mary and Angie, and then Bronwyn and Brittany, which I just wrote, oof, that's going to be tough.
Yeah, somebody had to draw the short straw.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Both, honestly, because Bronwyn's going to be you would think Bronwyn's going to be in the middle of a lot of shit. So somebody's going to have to be with Bronwyn while she's going through that. But also somebody has to room with Brittany.
Who better than Brittany to be your shoulder to cry on? But we got an update about Jared along the way. They're on a 30-day break. Just took a psychic medium telling you that you're being a terrible mother for you to finally snap out of it.
Or it's one of those things where, like, I I don't know, like you're going to a country that, say like you're a vapor or something, like you vape or smoke cigarettes or whatever.
A vapor?
A vapor. Yeah, that's what they call people in those circles. Me, in there.
Sick,
You're
dude.
going to a country that doesn't allow those things. Yeah, you know what? My break starts right now. That's kind of what's going on here with Brittani.
Okay.
She's like, you know what? My break starts right now because I'm going away and I can't see him for at least, I don't know how long they're there
I
for.
can't
4 or
vape
5
on
days.
his penis for 30 days.
Yeah, she can't vape on his penis. So now she has. I'm going to stop myself before I start going into a potential penis on that stuffed animal.
Nope.
Whose fucking cucumber was that?
I don't know. Jared's probably.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
You
No.
think there's a little side pocket that goes into the stuffed animal and you can put the
No, but I think that the animal and the cucumber were both gifted via Jared for specific reasons.
That's a
now.
possibility.
Ew.
I just love that was the side quest of the crew for the boat the whole time.
That's such a below deck thing to get
It's just
stuck on.
incredible. It's like, yeah, we've got a real crossover episode here. We're going to give you the majority of it as housewives, but also look what the crew's up to.
Yeah, this
Whose
is.
fucking cucumber is this?
I had the same thought process.
too.
You had to get that bitch through customs. Like,
That's the thing too, is production could easily tell us who it is, but I'm so happy they didn't.
no, don't let us know. I want this to keep going for the remainder of the boat trip. I do like this rule that we are enforcing, though, especially considering that 30-day break started and then he came over to quote unquote help pack.
Mm-hmm.
He helped pack something.
Packing something.
Yeah, sure. But anytime Jared's mentioned from here on out, we get water poured on her. Meredith pours water on her immediately. And I also thought, I was like, all right, cool. Took that in stride. Like, these are good vibes to start this trip out.
Who took that in stride? Meredith or Brittani?
Brittani.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would say that Meredith took that in
I
stride.
think they both.
She was kind of funny.
Yeah, she was like excited to pour water on her. Brittany was like, oh my gosh. So fun. We're having fun.
Brittany now thinks that Meredith and her are sisters.
Oh, she thinks that
she's
they
leading into the
are
joke.
best friends forever now.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I got a lot to say later. Bronwyn pulls up, and I like that Heather sets the tone. Hey, let's take it easy. We'll get into this at some point, but let's not all jump down her throat. This is a little weird. Bronwyn's obviously hesitant. She's got Todd's words on repeat in her head, and she's obviously concerned that they've been talking shit about her already. So pulling up in that fit, too. Wow. I know we do costumes a lot. That was a crossover costume to fashion, Fashun.
Mm-hmm.
So before we move forward, resident fashionista Shooter Magooter, what do we think about the fit?
I think because she did admit that it was half and half costume fashion, I'm okay with that.
Okay.
Fully fine with it. The one problem that I have with it, you already wore it.
Yeah, I know.
And you already have it on Instagram.
No, what are we
Now you're gonna
doing?
wear it on the show.
Can't
You're
repeat
rich.
outfits.
You just get something else. Get a different color.
That's it.
If you really liked it, just get a different color.
Or get one with floaties on the arms instead.
Something like that.
You know, that would have been a good pivot. I took note of this immediately, and we didn't even get to the table yet. But Lisa speaking up and going, she's got a lot on her plate, like with trying to retaliate. And this, I was like, what? What do you mean trying to retaliate? Why are we getting down into that now? No one said anything yet.
No one said anything about that. Lisa also trying to throw shade about what I just said, which is fine. Wearing a different costume or wearing something that you already wore and posted on Instagram, that's fine too. Just didn't hit because it just seems like she's grasping at straws at this point.
Yeah.
She's trying very hard to paint other people as a villain. And again, this is, I think, the biggest problem with the group and Lisa is Bronwyn and her sat down. That was a very good job by Bronwyn, a very authentic apology, a very let's move forward type of situation. And Lisa's still sitting there like, oh, yeah, she's probably trying to retaliate. She's
Exactly.
going to do something. And I ask, retaliate for what? What did you do to Bronwyn?
Right.
Because all we know is, you start talking about the gout dick sucker thing. You tried to point things out while you were doing your presentation, but otherwise, you guys apologize. So what is she retaliating for?
I don't know, but that's where questions start in because she keeps forcing the questions by saying stupid shit like that. My favorite part of this scene is because they're standing on the rail, like quietly talking, and Brittany is to the left. I believe it's Lisa, Meredith, Brittany.
Yeah.
There's somebody in between Brittany and Lisa, and Brittany goes around that middle person and goes, yeah, we both know stuff. And it's such a like, hey, Lisa, we both know stuff, right, bestie? Hey. And Lisa like,
That's
cold
the thing
shoulders
is, that's where I think it could all come crumbling.
Is Brittany.
It's Brittany because Lisa can't keep her mouth shut.
I know.
And if Brittany's the only person that's really talking to you right now, because I get the vibe that Meredith and her aren't really talking.
I think they're talking, but I
it's
think that it's
cordial.
very very surface level.
Incredibly surface
Meredith
level,
doesn't want to poke
But
anything.
Lisa needs someone to be on the phone with for hours. And I think that
Divulge.
could be Brittany. That's why Brittany thinks that she's sisters with her because, oh my God, she calls me all the time. Lisa just needs to talk. She just has she has to hit a certain word count a day. And John just walks away from her at this point. So let me call Brittany. I bet you she said a couple things here and there. And if Brittany lets something slip, which she will, that could be the final nail in the coffin, which would be hilarious.
Ooh, that's a really, really good theory. I'm on board with that one for sure. So let's get to Brittany and Bronwyn's room. And we meet the stuffed animal that Jared gave her.
Yeah, at least it didn't have a name.
Again, good night, baby. You're so loved. Even the way he talks. Say I love you.
Yeah.
Don't send this.
Actually,
with
no, that's strategic.
You're so loved.
You're so
It's
loved.
not I
It's
love
not
you.
I love you.
Uh-huh. You're right. That was intentional.
Yep.
God, he's such a dick. Why?
Just why?
I feel like the show is making it worse because now he thinks he is somebody. He used to be the Z level Osmond, and now he thinks he's like the B level Osmond. He's not. You're actually worse off. But I hate that it's giving him false confidence. This false bravado.
Yeah.
Boo.
It doesn't really matter that the rest of the group is pouring water on her when she says your name. She's still saying your name.
That's all he cares.
And they're now saying your name.
He probably... No, I'm not going to say that. That's gross.
Ew.
He probably jerks off to watching them talk about him on the show.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I couldn't hold it back. I'm so sorry, everybody.
He does the Patrick Bateman, and he's having sex with probably somebody else, not Brittany, but watching Salt Lake City.
Watching Salt Lake City, his scenes on repeat and a mirror behind it. So he can, it's definitely the Patrick Bateman move, for sure. Now, in Bronwyn and Brittany's room, Brittany's the worst person that we could have with Bronwyn first to intro into this conversation because even the way that she talked, maybe not because she's so unserious.
Yeah. No, I wasn't going to say that she's unserious. I'm going to say that there's no chance in hell that Bronwyn's going to broach that subject with her.
No, okay.
So at least it's kind of an icebreaker.
I guess.
Like, hey, at least it indicates to Bronwyn, like, we've already talked about this. So it kind of confirms that we've already talked about this. So she knows, all right, no, I'm going to have to deal with this at some point. Maybe
but
I
she's
get
not
ahead of
do
it
now.
But I'm certainly not going to talk to Brittany about it.
That makes sense.
So I think it actually works pretty well.
That's not a bad point. And just the way that she intros into it, where were you?
Yeah. So, where were you?
Yeah, what
happened?
What? It's so accusatory. It's like, what'd you do? And Bronwyn gives like run of the mill answer. It's like, look, someone's planning stories. She's like, you think that's happening? Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
This doesn't happen by chance.
No.
And we already know the allegations are like grand theft auto, larceny, or I don't even know. That's some like pretty serious felony charges that are allegedly charged to her years prior.
It gets more confusing later, yeah.
Yeah, but the stories have changed multiple times. We've actually seen the stories change as the news kept coming out. The allegations kept changing. The timeline was very confusing. So it all screams something happened at some point, but now we're just getting a lot of speculation from outside sources.
It tells me that whatever the sealed file is only partially got disclosed.
Not even. It was just the penal code that was used against her.
So then it's just speculation station after that.
Speculation.
I couldn't even speak.
Speculation station.
That's a tough one, yeah.
Speculation station.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much all we're dealing with at this point. And I mean, it's a good and bad thing, obviously, because you could just say somebody got to this, tried to release it. It didn't actually come all out. So you can't confirm it. That's not bad.
Brittany's like, we're all wondering if it's true because it's all public record. It's like, it's not.
It's not.
We know it's not.
I think the whatever happened with her
the
in
eviction
college,
was,
the eviction
yeah,
is public record.
but this big one that's sealed is not public record. And she gets ahead of it right here. She's like, look, I got evicted 20 years ago. There was a case 10 plus years ago that used this old penal code that referenced, which, you know, they referenced the penal code. It can be a litany of things that fall under that umbrella.
Right.
So we really won't find this one out unless she divulges it. And I think she'd be in breach of something because it's a sealed case.
Yeah.
I don't know the rules. We're not lawyers. But anyway, she's obviously upset that they've been discussing it without her there. And she just needed some time to figure it out. This is when we get intro to the cucumber, little side scene, little side quest by the below deck crew. And that takes us to lunch. I thought we were going to heat up at lunch. We didn't that much.
Not that much.
We start dipping toes into what we're going to talk about later. And poor Angie is just vomiting left and right, cannot get a handle on it, but she's still showing up to things, still trying. I love Angie, especially after that wife swap. She's one of my favorite housewives ever, I think.
Yeah.
But we immediately ask Bronwyn. Whitney goes, hey, are you okay? She goes through the Todd thing. Look, Todd was upset, didn't want me to come on this trip because clearly that this group has been discussing things, whatever, and Meredith brings it up. It's like, look, give us the rundown. It's a few years to 20 years back. Just clear it up right now.
Yeah.
Which I actually like.
I love the way that Meredith went
I
about
did
it.
too.
Because she said, yeah, I mean, obviously there are a lot of serious charges, and I'm imagining that it's probably not as serious as it looks. So here you go. That's the best way to intro
great.
something, honestly, especially of this caliber. And for Meredith to say that, it's like, good for you. Look at you checking in.
Did something.
Clocking in here.
Oh, yeah. No, it was a great move, great setup. And she says, look, I was kicked out of my apartment 20 years ago. When I got kicked out of BYU, I left. That's what it was. I left my apartment 20 years ago when I got kicked out of the school. Didn't pay my last month's rent, so I got evicted. That's all. Which makes total sense that a 19-year-old pregnant that just left
After meeting her
school-
mom and understanding what she was going through with her family while she was pregnant, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the least of our worries.
Rent seems the bottom of the list of
Yeah.
things to be concerned about. But it does prove that someone's digging into shit. Because why would this... Even Meredith says that. She's like, that's weird.
That's
that
a
would-
very, I see, that's where I think that because it's a public record, because it's a very easily attainable thing,
Mhm.
I didn't really see much of an issue with that. And I don't really want to peg a certain housewife to that one, saying that they were digging it up. Because that just seems like Bravo blogger, like 101.
Yeah, and
Let's
that...
just go public record search Bronwyn Newport, Bronwyn whatever her name was before all of this started, when she changed it, whatever it may have been. Let's see what happens here. And then this pops up. And it's like, okay, let's put this out there. She's a housewife. It's
That's
like,
fair.
okay, yeah.
Yeah, and then for the big one, you didn't get a whole lot of explanation. It sounds like something must have happened because she said that she cooperated with authorities,
Correct.
but it was against the business, not against her specifically. She was never named in any charges. She was never charged with anything in particular. Even on the police record, like her name's not on it. It's whatever business she was. I don't know if she owned it, affiliated with it. I don't know what the fuck happened.
I don't know, too, because I don't know how long ago her and Todd got together.
This seems to predate.
That's
Todd.
what I get the vibe that it predates Todd, and I think we could probably figure that out pretty quickly. She did say it was like 10 years old, at least. Now, the question that comes into play is the timeline, of course, because every single person that spoke up had a different time frame.
Yeah, that's the
Heather's
big problem.
sitting right next to her, and she's like, yeah, apparently it happened, what, like 4 years ago? Meredith saying 10 years ago. Bronwyn kind of says
Meredith said
about...
a few years ago.
Yeah, and Bronwyn says it was probably about 10 years
10
ago.
plus.
So, and Bronwyn's 40, so this puts her in her 20s at somewhere. I think it predates Todd.
I would imagine
Or
it predates Todd.
Maybe it's a little bit of a crossover, and maybe Todd helped, but either way,
Allegedly.
the way that she's... Yeah, I know, that's a good point. The way that she's explaining it was a little confusing, but this actually might be, and we might have to sound an alarm for this one, this actually might be something that they can't talk about.
No, I know.
It
sounds
genuinely
like-
might be something that a housewife cannot talk about because it's a sealed record and because she's not the only party involved.
Here's what I think happened. And I agree with you there. This is the first time this actually seems feasible that they can't discuss it at all. It sounds like their company, she was in the same business as Todd. Not the same company, but the same
Embezzlement would
business.
fall under that
I
penal
think
code.
something or someone, this is 100% speculative, but I believe that somebody in her company was probably embezzling funds, doing some shady shit, laundering money, I don't know. And then she probably, because she was at some tier of the company, was probably brought in for questioning, cooperated with the authorities, gave them some info about what was happening behind the scenes, and she was expunged, or her name was expunged from all of it.
I mean, the fraud thing would come up right away. The identity theft thing was interesting, but if it's not her, it could be maybe somebody putting grand larceny. It could be a car under the
Right.
company's name, but under someone else's name. There's your identity theft. There's your identity fraud. And then they ended up using the car or stealing the car. There's your grand larceny. So, like, all of these things seem pretty feasible.
Yeah.
And if she's implicating just the company and saying, yeah, I was part of that and I have to talk about it, that makes sense to me that she, one, wouldn't be able to talk about it. And two, all of those things just kind of come up pretty easily under that same penal code.
Yep.
So, again, we're not lawyers, but
I think we just figured it out.
we
though.
can figure that out pretty quickly, then it seems like it's pretty truthful.
We are journalists too, though.
Yeah,
so
we are.
We're pretty intuitive people.
We refuse to look at schedules of when things are coming out.
No,
but yeah,
fuck that.
we can speculate all we want. And
Because
we're
we're
pretty good
so
at that.
intuitive, we believe
what
that
it
we
is.
can predict
Yeah.
when shows come out.
Yeah, I'm not reading articles over here.
Who reads?
Fucking Reedy McReaderson.
Yeah, fucking nerd. Meredith, Meredith asks, why is it so upsetting then? Which I thought was a dumb question. It's like, what? Because there's a bunch of stuff in the press. She's on headlines all over these tabloid media outlets, and her husband is a very powerful businessman. So this is probably a shitty look.
I took that as like Meredith doing the like the James Franco meme where she's got the noose around her neck saying first time.
Oh, first time?
Yeah, because like most housewives who have been on this show for a long time, you go through the ringer.
Oh, that's
People release things all the time. There's lawsuits from your past that come back up. So I think it was just kind of like I don't want to say tone deaf, but around there, saying like, hey, first time?
Yeah.
We really, what's the issue here?
What is that, the Ballad of Buster Scruggs?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that was actually pretty good. I like that. And here's where Lisa, unprovoked, completely buries herself. This was the guiltiest presentation I think I've ever seen. This is worse than the poster boards.
Yeah, it was.
She's like, look, nobody would do that. Nobody. Not one person would do this to anybody here. I don't think it's weird that you dug things on me and like for retaliation purposes. I don't think that's at all what's going on. And don't spin this on me, okay? Don't you dare spin this on me. What the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
We didn't even get to the part where Bronwyn accused anybody in the group.
No.
She was alluding to it in not even really like
not yet.
Yeah, she was kind of alluding to it.
Sorta.
Like I could see, but that's guilty conscience. That's all it is.
You could connect the dots for sure,
Yeah.
but in doing so, you would make yourself look pretty guilty.
Yeah.
Hello? This was the weirdest move ever. This screams I'm the one behind it.
Yeah.
And she continues to do it the entire time. And I thought that Bronwyn handled it perfectly because now's not the time. And she knows it's not the time. So she just placates the whole thing. She's like, look, I didn't say anybody. I know that after Amy's, it's certainly intensified. And that was kind of weird. But doesn't name anybody in particular. And she's like, look, I sat down with Lisa to clear the air. And I thought we were good. And then it intensified. I'm just saying it would be devastating if it came out that she was behind it. It's a great way to point a finger without actually pointing a finger, especially when the person you're pointing the finger at would just start saying all of this nonsense. She's like, who dug things up on me? I don't know, Lisa. Probably somebody in retaliation for you digging shit up on them.
Yeah.
This whole thing is just, it's laying your playbook out.
And it was very funny to watch, too, because we do know after watching Bronwyn in her confessionals and honestly watching Heather and Whitney talk about it, that she does suspect that Lisa was the one who did it. Of course, we all suspect it, too. But she, again, was not pointing the finger. She was, if Lisa allowed her to talk, which is a huge if nowadays, if you allowed her to talk, she wasn't actually saying it was you. She was saying, I would be heartbroken if I found out that it was you or any of you. That's pretty much going to be the end of the statement, but you're already convinced that she's going to finger you. So, yeah, you didn't like that one?
No, can we use different
finger
phrasing?
you. Yeah, come on.
I'm going to point at you.
Yeah, no. She's going to finger you for the crime.
Okay.
Is that better?
Yeah, I do like that better.
Yeah,
Thank
okay.
you for
for
amending that
add
one.
a little prepositional phrase at the end there, make it more comfortable. But either way, if Lisa allowed her to talk, it would have been okay. And then you would at least, this is my problem with Lisa, you would have some time to collect your thoughts. Instead, you open your mind and whoosh, everything comes out.
She's prattled.
Yep.
You're pre-rattled. It's a problem. And by leaving the conversation, saying to anyone who's within earshot, that got spun. By you. You spun it. You are the spinner. That's stupid.
Yep.
This was so dumb. This was one of the dumber scenes I think I've seen.
Well, at the end of it, when they're getting ready to go into the ocean, did you catch what Lisa and Heather were talking about?
No.
Lisa was trying to say this whole thing is so fucked up, and Heather smiles and she goes, yeah, you're so fucked up, and walked away.
I didn't hear that.
So Heather was already laying the groundwork. Heather's already convinced and knows what she's getting into later that night. She just wasn't getting involved right there.
No, and you
I
can
think
see...
there's props to Bronwyn here, too, for both things, and we'll talk about hers later. But in this situation, again, you're not really... You know what Lisa's going to do, and she kind of has Lisa figured out, at least this version of Lisa, where... I'm not really telling you that you're doing this, but I'm going to let you talk anyway because you're kind of burying yourself. I'm going to let it happen. We saw that at the apology thing. We saw that at Amy, the socialites party. We've seen this whole new version of Bronwyn handling Lisa. She's going to bury herself, which is what we said about Angie and Lisa fighting last time. Like, if you just let her go, she's going to say something that's going to implicate herself. So just let it happen. Everybody kind of figured that out. And again, Heather kind of flipping gives them so much more power, and they're not afraid of Lisa.
No, that's the thing. That's the big takeaway here is this group is no longer fearful of Lisa Barlow. They've reached the point where they're just fed up and they want some answers. That's a bad place for her to be, especially when the group is also figuring out, like you just said, they're figuring out how to handle it. Don't talk. Let her talk. She will do the job for you.
Just say enough just to get her rattled and then just see what she says.
Yeah, set it up and she'll knock it down. Let's get to the water fun. We're just having some aquatic time, and poor Angie is, again, what a fucking trooper. She's trying her best, but she's literally holding on to somebody's leg. I don't know. I don't think that was Captain Jason. I'm not sure, but she's holding on to a gentleman's leg, throwing up.
I don't know how to say his name. Joao? Jao?
Joao?
Yeah, it's a Portuguese name, I think.
Joe?
Jao?
I'm going to say Joe.
Joe? Okay.
And if we got that wrong, I apologize. But
that's who it was, though.
I love Brittani, who has set her sights on Jason. She's like locked in to try to get this man. And watching her and Heather sit there, well, Heather's clearly drunk at this point, and Brittany's like holding on to her, and she's like recapping a potential hookup. She's like, look, we're friends. Like, yeah, we fooled around, but like, there's nothing there. Brittany's like, wait, what? He's not interested in you. It's like, you just met the guy.
Yeah.
Like, you don't get jealous of Heather now, but it did raise the question. Did Heather and Captain Jason canoodle a little bit?
I think maybe.
Slight canoodling or full canoodling?
Slight canoodling. I think maybe a makeout.
Okay.
I think maybe a makeout in Australia down under.
Makeout and so. Oh, wait, that's a different thing.
Yeah. Oh, whoa.
Whoa.
Which down under am I talking about?
We got it. Thank you for clarifying. Jesus.
Slight canoodling?
No, that I don't know what that counts as. I'm just going to keep going.
Like they keep changing the field goal on this one.
Yeah, they keep moving the goalposts. So changing the field goal. We are devolving. Anywho, and with Angie being such a good sport, I don't like that Lisa's like, I'm so sorry for her. Like, she's acting like her being ill is showing that she doesn't know how to act on a yacht.
I think about it differently. I think that Lisa's very disappointed that Angie is sick because she had all of these one-liners planned and ready to go about how she's never been on a yacht before, and now she actually has to feel bad for Angie.
Okay.
I think that's pretty much what it is. Like,
all right, that's fair.
Shit. All right, if I don't show some sort of sympathy for Angie going through this, I'm gonna look like a monster. But like, I got these one-liners.
Got to throw one little.
She's got to get them out there.
All right, I could buy that, and I love that Brittany is just going from dude to dude. The Captain Jason thing might have fallen through because Heather just said like, we canoodled a little bit, and so she goes over to the next guy on the edge of the boat, and she's like, oh, he's like, and he's playing, and she's like, late night later, and she's like, yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Are you gonna be there? Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Working.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, I'm in. So let's get to Bronwyn and Whitney. This is after the aquatic fun and everything, and she plays the good night baby, you are so loved. I believe it's a unicorn.
I thought this is hilarious though. Like this is going through and saying you're not going to believe what the fuck this is.
Yeah,
that's great.
Well, it also shows like real camaraderie. Like I like this scene. It
seems like Whitney and Bronwyn are actual friends now.
Yeah, they're getting
which
tight.
is nice, and even Mary and Bronwyn. Mary's going to be very interesting moving forward. Obviously, she kind of gets not bogged down by Angie, but she's away from everything. Bronwyn and Mary seem to be closer too.
I feel like that's the interesting thing with this season is Lisa's on the outs.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But due to that, it feels like the rest of the ladies are getting closer. And I'm not saying that Lisa is Jen Shaw. I'm not saying that at all.
No,
She's still an integral part of this show. We still need her.
That. You're going to get in trouble.
I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is we're seeing her ostracization, if you will.
Oh, I will.
We're seeing.
I love that word.
We're seeing her ostracization.
Well, you said it again.
Thank you. Is having a positive effect on the group, much like when Jen Shaw was finally on the outs. We saw the rest of the group really start to come together. That's when the show really started to take shape.
Yeah.
So it's just interesting to me that when you get the quote-unquote villain off to the side, it allows for the group to kind of flourish because we're seeing friendships form across the board. Even Meredith's been more pleasant lately.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that correlates. I don't know if it's just a coincidence, but it is interesting to me to watch all of that happen. Bronwyn and Whitney say what we've already been talking about. Nobody accused her of anything, right? She just got that guilty because it was her. And Bronwyn starts putting the pieces together for us of how she got to this point. She's like, look, when you said the Alibaba stuff, that was immediately perking my ears up because it shows that she's capable of doing this. Then I saw the nickname Conwyn. Not the same.
Not the same as Fraudwyn.
It's not the same as Fraudwyn, which is what you were called originally. Could I see how...
Fine tunes, I think.
That's the thing. Could I see how it went from Fraudwyn to Conwyn?
Correct. Yep.
Yes, I could.
I think Fraudwyn was in the moment. It was, let me roll this one off the tongue and see how it goes. And then later it's, Conwyn sounds better.
Well, you also see in the name, it goes from Fraudwyn to Conwyn Fraudport.
Yep.
So it's almost like she loved the fraud part of it so much she had to shoehorn it in there somewhere.
Yeah.
So we're mounting evidence up against her, and her causing a scene at lunch didn't help. Bronwyn saying, you know, and I think this is the most important takeaway, is regardless of the outcome of this, moving forward for Lisa with a lot of people in this group, I think is going to be difficult because let's say she didn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
The idea that she could do it is enough for Bronwyn. The fact that she is being so scrutinized for this should cause a lot of the ladies to pause. Because, yeah, we think she did it. I think she's been doing it for years.
Yeah.
I think Meredith has too, by the way. I just don't think we've been able to unearth that stuff.
I think it's some sort of building block of being a housewife, is you have to be able to do some of these things. You just can't be that obvious.
Yeah.
And I think this is, maybe it's just Lisa being more and more obvious over the years. Like, we know where this is coming from. And the way that she threatens people over the years, it kind of leads you down that path where
That's what I'm saying.
you're bringing up things that haven't been released yet. Like when she's calling, even in the beginning of the season, calling Bronwyn, I almost called her Fraudwyn right there, but calling her Fraudwyn right there in the beginning of the season before this comes out.
Oh, yeah.
Is kind of weird.
Yeah.
And yeah, you could say, oh, I was talking about the necklace. I was talking about all the things that you were lying about, but it really doesn't add up.
And that's what she does every time.
Yeah. It's almost like she's so excited to do it, but then she forgets, fuck, I haven't dropped that nugget. I haven't released that report to somebody.
It's looking pretty bad for her.
Yeah, it really is.
Heather joins the conversation, and we know that she's gone into this trip with this in mind. I'm going to call her out on here, so it's good that she joins, and she lays it out too. Now we're just compiling evidence together, which is great. She's like, look, every time LB's mad, information leaks. She agrees. Everyone there agrees. And her rundown of Lisa, I'm like, that's pretty spot on. She's smarter and darker than everybody thinks that she is.
Yeah.
She looks up everything. She keeps a scorecard. And you know she does, because when she goes to confessional, she lays out the score for you without saying 1-0. But she's like, she did this, I did this.
Yep.
She's doing this. Why would you do that to me?
I think the way that Heather's going about it, because I've had some time to think about it, because she's been talking about it for 2-3 weeks at this point. We've known that this was going to happen. I've been a little scared about how she was going to do it, if it was going to hit or not. But I think really what she's doing, it's a deep-rooted issue with something that we know Heather holds near and dear. And that's the camaraderie of the group. She wants the group to all be somewhat on the same level. Everybody should somewhat like each other and tolerate each other. But if one of you starts breaking away, like a Jen Shah, that's going to be a problem for me. And if you're going to be out there by yourself, like a Monica, that's going to be a problem for me.
Oh, I like that.
Heather does a good job of keeping everybody kind of tight-knit. And if somebody starts to stray, which you could say, yeah, Lisa hasn't done anything to Heather since the Good Time Girl thing, which was like season 2. So at this point, yeah, she hasn't done anything directly, but we've seen a couple of lunches, we've seen a couple of dinners, drinks, whatever, where Lisa's just boasting about her life. And then when Heather just tries to chime in, she knocks her down too. She doesn't want that to happen. She wants everybody to kind of stay in the same area.
I like that. That's a good synopsis of the whole situation. And the more evidence we get, Heather's like, look, I've seen it in real time. I saw her talking to others to gather info, and you get a clip of her and Amy at the party, and she's literally like, what do people think about Bronwyn? What do you think about Todd? It's like, these are really bad looks.
Yeah, because the socialite from Utah, Amy, spent some time in the Bay Area.
Probably.
What do they know? No, that's what they said.
Oh.
Yeah, no. She said I spent some time in the Bay Area, and that's why Lisa asked what you think about Todd. She's like, can I plead the fifth?
It's all adding up.
Fucking better. Todd's going to come after you.
He will. And he has a lot of money, a lot more than you.
Is Todd a Utah socialite?
I don't think he qualifies as social. He doesn't seem like he likes to do social
Goes
things.
to the ice cream parlor, probably.
Is that like... Is that a
Fat joke?
code word?
It's a fat joke.
Oh, no.
Yeah, no, okay, yeah.
Jeez. I will not partake in those.
He ate her cherry.
Yeah, fuck him.
That
You're
is
right.
not a euphemism.
You're right. No, you're gross tonight.
I said it wasn't a euphemism.
Implying that it could have been.
Down under.
Therefore, Meredith joins the conversation, and Whitney gives her the whole rundown. Meredith, she's in such a Meredith mode right now. She's slurring all her words, doing what she always does. She's like,
seasick.
I think engaging with the press is in an inappropriate way is bad. She's doing her best to say, I agree with you guys.
Get her an OC right now.
She would do wonders in OC. But she's saying more or less, I agree with all of you, but I'm not going to fully co-sign any of this.
Which is hilarious because we all knew that when she said that.
Yeah.
And yet Heather and Whitney still expected her to step up.
I know.
Like, what?
Right? Like the way the way she's going about this is she's agreeing with you.
I'm so disappointed that Meredith didn't step up when we needed her. Why do you think she would?
We knew she would.
Yeah.
But it certainly sets the table for later when everything goes down at dinner. And I think to accurately break this down the right way, we're gonna have to do a two-parter. So we're gonna cut it off right here and just keep listening to whatever app you're using. It'll go right into episode 2. But I think we need to give both of these their respective amount of time.
Cut it and tie it off.
Cut it and what the fuck are we doing? That's all I got. You got anything else?
Nope.
That's our show. Bro's got to go. See you in a sec.